Y'all already know my feelings on the current state of things. I won't reiterate them to you. If you haven't watched last week's video that I told you not to watch, go ahead and watch it now. But go ahead and sub to the content if you dig it. Now, we still at the POV of Baam and Rak versus Rancha and Wee Wee. Now, we get Rak kind of flexing his power here with not really being stunned by Rancha at all, as she attempts to stab him with a spear and he bites it with his head. I mean, she can't comprehend his power. We can't comprehend his power. Well, some of y'all do. But with that said, Rancha backs up and decides that Rak is worthy enough to be a pet of hers, as it appears that her power works like vampirism because her anima, or Shinua, is a Chupacabra. Now, if you're not familiar with that is, that's a popular folklore, particularly I know in the South, that sucks blood and basically a vampire type of wolf. Now, she summons it, and it's kind of like this globby blood monster. And I ain't gonna lie, the art is fantastic with it. But apparently, her power works with if she's able to suck the blood out of your body, she can control you.
Well, damn, do that to me!
But as this is happening, we temporarily flash over to Baam, who's very concerned about Rak, who we could probably confirm that Rak is in rage mode, given that he's not talking to Baam at all. But Chili Bear is really running down on Baam, and we're gonna have to really get into this because Baam gets frozen by Wee Wee, who is focusing really on taking Baam down. And Baam ends up freezing and falling to the ground. And we flash right back over to Rancha and Rak as Rak battles with the Chupacabra, who attempts to swallow him.
I beg your pardon?
And suck out his blood. But apparently it didn't work. Whatever Rak did causes damage not only to the Chupacabra, but to Rancha. Given probably because they share the same blood, that they probably take any damage together, which is probably a nice trade-off. But as Chupacabra falls off, Rancha has basically had enough and really goes in for a bigger attack on Rak, who forms like this giant rock spear with his hands and ends up pretty much bodying Rancha. And we flash back over to Wee Wee, basically like, oh my god, like what's going on? And Baam causes a transformation that happened while frozen. Breaking out of it, he has Leviathan wrapped around him, with, of course, double ignition of both the red and blue Thressa, as you can see the horns. But they appear to be longer, so possibly a new form. And scene. So guys, I completely forgot about the Dumas and Kun part. I mean, the part was so insignificant that I forgot about it. But we did get Kun and Dumas walking with Kun, trying to basically figure out a plan on what to do with Dumas. And then it came across the two Lobopia branches, which then caused the scene. I'm just attaching this after that little part right there. But I don't have any predictions as far as what's going to happen with Dumas. He probably rolls these two branches with Kun sitting in the back. But we might get an intervention from somebody, but I doubt it. So we got to talk about Baam real quick, guys, because Baam has the Goku problem, okay? The Goku problem is when you have so many forms and so many uses and utilities and techniques that the author will often try to put you in situations against weaker people to make you utilize everything. And that's exactly what's going on with Baam, except Baam's character isn't like Goku's, where Goku enjoys the sport. Baam is kind of just doing it, and it kind of takes away from it. Now, granted, this element does build up a bit of tension for Baam to get to this point, but let's be real here, guys. Nobody expected Baam to pop this apparent new form of power against Wee Wee of all people. I mean, we've been speculating that Baam versus Dumas might be a thing for a while now. This would have been fantastic to pull out against him, and you can call it another execution error. I'm not going that deep with it, but nobody can absolutely say that Wee Wee would have posed a real threat to Baam for him to do this. Now, most of you were saying that Baam was going to 2v1 them, including me, but you were said he was going to easily 2v1 them, and it would have been clockwork. And granted, given what we know about Baam and his techniques, Baam should be able to dog walk them, but that's kind of not how the story is playing out, and we're probably going to have to get used to Baam basically cycling through his inventory and choosing what to use and not getting rid of people really quickly. And I don't know how I feel about that, but for the time being, cool for him. Now, we're moving on to Rak and the Chupacabra. Chupacabra's art is fantastic. I like it, like I said, even though it's not the actual form. But Rancha's ability is very, very, how can I say, vampire-like. but she gives off like kind of a little bit of a sexual vibe. So it's almost like what you would call a succubus. But she wants to take control of Rack, and it doesn't really work out for her, and she ends up losing the fight. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this because it's kind of like, wow, Bomb looked really nerfed, Rack looked really good, and now that Rack's fight's over, now Bomb's gonna look good. I understand that opinion. But what can we do? I can't complain more than I complained last week, guys. So, pretty much though, Rack was impressive with his rock powers, or earth powers, however you want to say it. We probably transforms back to normal because I'm gonna guess there's a time limit to how long he can stay in this form. But that's pretty much it for the chapter. We'll get to see what Bomb's new form brings. But other than that, chapter is a 6.5 out of 10. My predictions will probably be Bomb probably runs through Wee Wee with whatever new form this is. It is interesting to see Leviathan wrapped around him. Could be defensive based given that the Shinsu reinforcement was in Judgment last chapter with Wee Wee. So maybe there's an extra layer here. But other than that, I'll see you guys Thursday, 1 o'clock per usual. Till then, check the Discord link in the bio and have a good